Okay, now today we have this, a $29 smart home assistant and activity tracker. Is it any good? Let's find out. Welcome to Catch Conquest, and today we have the WYZE Band. Just Band. WYZE is the company. WYZE is known for their IP cameras. They have a very wide collection of IP cameras, and I believe also smart plugs. They're sort of breaking into the home automation space, and they're doing a pretty good job at maintaining a value price point while keeping up with some pretty good ratings. So I saw this and I thought it has the WYZE brand on it. I might as well check it out. Now, before I get into the product and the box and everything, I just want to take a moment and rant for a second about this. This is the proprietary charger that this particular band uses. As you can see, it has this weird clamping mechanism along with a few prongs here that fit into the back of the watch like this. Let's see if I can get it in there. Yep, there you go. Just like that. And then you plug this into basically any USB port. This thing only has a 100 milliamp hour battery. I believe it's 120 milliamp hours. Let me double check that. Yep, it's 120 milliamp hours. So basically anything that can provide even a small amount of power will be able to charge this. The problem is that this is a proprietary cable. You're not going to be able to go to AliExpress or Amazon or Walmart and buy one of these cables because of this weirdo connector here. And the problem with that is this cable is like 6 inches long. This is frankly unacceptable for a proprietary cable. It costs pennies to make this cable any longer. Why is it 6 inches long? I don't have any more words. Honestly, this is the biggest disappointment of this entire thing, which is great for the product itself, but this is a nightmare. I'd never want to deal with that. But onto the product itself. This thing is actually not bad for $29. It's a fitness tracker, so don't get your hopes up about getting your text messages and emails here and answering calls and stuff like that. This thing works purely on Bluetooth, and that's fine because all it's really designed to do is two things, and that is track your activities. That is heart rate. It has a heart rate monitor and it works pretty well, and a step counter that also works pretty well. So it does that, and it does that fairly well. And the other thing it can do is this first part of their advertisement, which is a smart home assistant. And what this does is it integrates with Amazon Alexa on your smartphone and allows you to set up shortcuts on the device in order to use Alexa to do certain tasks. So you can set up shortcuts to allow Alexa to turn on your lights and, I don't know, turn down the AC and stuff like that. Anything that you can sort of turn into a task, you can have Alexa do through this. It does work through your device, so it has to be connected through Bluetooth to your phone, and your phone has to have Alexa on it, which sounds kind of annoying. For me, it kind of was, because I don't really use Alexa for anything. But for someone that has Alexa set up, that has their smart bulbs, their smart sockets, their smart thermostat, their doorbell, and all of that stuff, and it's all working through Alexa, something like this is pretty awesome because it gives you the ability to have these quick shortcuts on your wrist, and you can very quickly just swipe up and then swipe right just to get to them and choose any of the shortcuts that you want to use, which is great for if you're driving, where you can't really have your phone out, or maybe you're at the beach. I don't know what you would want to be doing at the beach and then also controlling home automation, but you do get your notifications through here. So if there are any alerts that Alexa would give you, for example, if you order a package and they leave it at your door and your doorbell would give you that alert, you can get that alert through here. So maybe you're at the beach and you get an alert, oh, look, my package arrived. That way you don't have to take your phone out with you. It works through Bluetooth, and honestly, you'll get good distance, especially if you're in an open area, so you wouldn't have to worry about that. You can leave your phone in the corner of the house and walk around the house. Unless you live in a giant mansion, you're not gonna get disconnected. It's gonna work just fine. As far as the downsides go, the vibration motor in this thing isn't very good. I would rate it at a 5, maybe a 6 out of 10 on good days. It's kind of too strong for the fragile body of this thing. This thing's mostly plastic, so it kind of rattles around. I don't know if I can you, I don't know if you could hear the rattling there, but it's not that great. But honestly, at this price point, it's still a better vibration motor than what you would get at, like, I don't know, a $200, $300 phone, which for some reason those tend to really sacrifice on the vibration motors. The other thing that it has that I'm not really a fan of is this design of, you can see that it has this forced curve to it. That's actually not because it's closed. If I open it, you can see that the curve is forced into it. There's these plastic pieces that go into the silicon, and what this does is it really closes this off for larger people with larger wrists than mine. I have some dainty little wrists, so this actually fit me pretty well, but people with larger wrists, this kind of closes it off and makes it uncomfortable for them. And I think in a version 2, they could fix that by making this a more open design. And the one last thing that I'm really not a fan of is the fact that this thing has an AMOLED display, which looks beautiful, but it doesn't have an always-on display, and that's kind of disappointing. If it's on my wrist, and it's going to be on my wrist all day, and I want to be able to look at it and check the time, because that is something that it does do, or even look at my heart rate or my steps, it just isn't on. And the problem with that is the fact that the sensor in here that lets it know that that you've turned your wrist and you're looking at it, it just doesn't work very well. It has like a 40 to 50% chance of working, and I've actually found that it has more false positives than anything else. I'll just be walking and it'll just randomly turn on. So that's not really cool, but I honestly don't expect that much at this particular price point. So that's about it. I don't really have much else to say. This thing is pretty cool. If you have a lot of home automation stuff and you'd like to be able to control them from your wrist without, having an expensive smartwatch or going through your phone, I would definitely recommend this product. If you're looking for just a step counter or a heart rate monitor at a cheap price, and you want something that's pretty good quality compared to the other stuff at the same price point, then I would also recommend this. If you're looking for a smartwatch, I would say stay away from this. It's not really up your alley. This is far less complicated than a smartwatch is going to be. It doesn't have integrated Wi-Fi. It doesn't have GPS. It just works through Bluetooth. You have to have your phone on you. You're not going to get your text messages, your emails. It's not a smartwatch. It's a fitness tracker. And as a fitness tracker, it definitely gets my seal of approval. And that's about it. So thank you guys for watching. Thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. Leave a comment and don't forget to subscribe. Every subscription helps me out. And I will see you next time on Gadget Conquest. See ya.